Yeah, bad hair again. All right, that's what the hat's for. I don't wear hats very often. Hello, Sweet Home Arizona. It is time to read your answers to the question. What was the question? If Trump is not reinstalled or put into office prior to 2024, right? That was it's an if question. Will he run in 2024? Let's read. I think I might be able to read a bunch of these because a lot of them are fairly obvious. Number one, Colonel False Flag says, yes, 100%. He's not done yet. He hasn't stopped fighting this whole time. True. Maria Aparecida Gonçalves, who has become a moderator, I think on this channel and maybe on all three channels. Hi, Maria. She says, Trump will most likely run in 2024 if he's not put back in office sooner. Just my opinion. JMO, just my opinion. Number three, Kathy Radatz. And these are top comments, so they're listed in order by YouTube. Kathy Radatz. He better be back. He has one hell of a mess to clean up thanks to Biden and the rest of his circus. Dennis Dangle. I like the idea of taking the House in 2022 and appointing Trump Speaker of the House. Picture Trump with a gavel. And I've heard this, and I did a video called Best Case Scenario, or Worst Case Scenario is Best Case Scenario, where I talked about Trump running and winning in 2024. But really, best case scenario is this, right? That he runs for a congressional seat in Florida, I guess it would have to be, because that's where his residence is, and wins. And then because the Republicans will take back the House, they will. It's a virtual guarantee, right? Like death and taxes. It will happen because midterms, every midterm, the incumbent president loses seats, and there's not very many seats to switch before it turns to a Republican House. So then they could vote for him to be the Speaker of the House, right? The third most powerful person in the government, or the third in line for the presidency. That would be crazy history. It'd be funny. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I just think the likelihood is lower of that happening than of him running in 2024. But I want to read some of the responses to this. There were several responses, but the first response to Dangle saying, make him Speaker of the House, Sweet Home Lunisota. Hello, Sweet Home Lunisota. I see you often here. And how is that going to happen if 2020 isn't corrected? You think they won't cheat in 2022? They got away with it in 2020. They also did it in 2018. And the California recall was also total fraud, and now California has permanent mail-in voting. It's ridiculous. All valid points. But I like how Dennis Dangle responds, don't yell at me, because this was a response to his original comment. Don't yell at me. He said, aside from making 2020 right, which is what I did. The question was, if he isn't reinstalled. Sweet Home is on the leading edge of making 2020 right. Thank you. Christina MD responds to Dennis Dangle. I would love to see Nancy Pelosi see that, right? Trump taking her gavel from her. That would be a sight to see. Sweet Home Lunisota. Sorry, I just get worked up about this. Yes. Don't mean to aim it at you personally. Rebel Yell 45 responds, that would be exceptionally delicious. Yes, it would. Lance Montgomery says, we have to get 2020 right. And I think he says, or there won't be a 2022. Okay, to respond to that, there's this sense that if there was nefarious activity in of course there was, right? There's always, in every election, there is some cheating, right? I can't get struck for that. It's just a foregone conclusion. The question is how widespread it was. So I'm going to be careful how I tread here, but there is not total control by the federal government over our people-picking process. There is not. They're trying to. They don't have it. And so some places there will be more nefarious activity than others. It's not at a point, especially now when you have states passing that are scrutinizing it more closely than ever, right? That is the good news. That was the point of the Arizona audit, was to get people's attention to how messed up our people picking process is and to clean it up. And it is being cleaned up. All right. Let's move on to the next comment. Hammer time. This would be a resounding yes. First of all, Mr. T is not a loser. Second of all, he isn't your run-of-the-mill winner. He is a natural winner and applies a lot of work into being where he is. I hate to think he would do all of these rallies and not run. Good point. I want to dig into the replies to the comments, but this video would get much too long. Just reading the replies to my original question now. Aldred Saxon says, personally, I don't expect him to run in 2024. I do, however, suspect him to capture the House Majority Leader's position. Oh, so he doesn't think he'll run in 2024, but he does think he'll run for Congress. Dylan Hattrich says, thanks again for your updates and hard work. I always try to show love to the up-and-comers you suggest. Good, because I do recommend you watch and subscribe to some up-and-coming channels. So happy that so many are trying to get truth out to the masses. Oh, and I encourage you, start a channel. Not just Dylan Hattrich, anybody. Start a YouTube channel. Spread the word. Email me if you do, and I will mention you if you're talking about this type of subject matter and are posting content. Sorry, getting distracted. Always look forward to your clips. Thank you. If you come to Savannah, you can stay at our house in the downtown Savannah area. May God bless every one of you. May God bless everyone you love, and Godspeed, soldier. Well, Dylan, thank you. I am actually planning a trip to the East Coast, not just this Friday, a longer road trip. You got to email me, Dylan. Email me. I'm going to lose this comment in the comment section. If you're serious, email me, and we'll do it. There, I'll make that one of the stops in my road trip. Joshua Keys, it will be more difficult for him to win if he waits until 2024. Potentially good point. He has all of the information and does nothing kind of sounds like he has all of the information and does nothing kind of sounds like all of the politicians. I don't believe we voted in a politician in 2016. Moreover, if 2020 is not fixed, would anyone like to revisit this nightmare? I'm going to read a couple more. JC, hell yeah. He'll run, right? Hell yeah. From his lips, quote, you, parentheses, us, we the people, close parentheses, you hired me to do a job, and I haven't finished yet. And personally, I'd like to see that two elected term, oh, that's not his quote. And personally, I'd like to see that 2 elected term BS removed. Oh, yeah, he wants to remove the 2 presidential term amendment. All right, this video is getting long. I'll just do 2 more. Yankee Trader says, if he's put back in, then we missed out on a whole. If he's put back in, then we missed out on a whole year. I like the idea of Speaker of the House and then another 4 full years. Again, I agree. That's a best case scenario. Daniel Cronin, I'm the kind of person that believes God speaks through prophetic. I'm the kind of person that believes in God speaks through prophetically. He does as he said he would. I see such an impossible situation I face where I kept saying it will happen and others kept saying it won't. Guess what? God kept his word. It did happen. All right. It would help to put punctuation in. I'm not tracking precisely. Let me just read one more. Missy D. Oh, I'm going to read 2 more. Missy D. If he gets to Speaker of the House position, he'd be 3rd in line. Then somehow we would need to get rid of Biden-Harris for him to step in. Would be great to see. However, it's a long shot. And the last question, Gina B. Hello. How are you? Of course he will. That's why it's so important we fight to get our elections cleaned up. Period.